welcome to the show. Another edition of the PGS Podcast. I've got some guests with me today, or a very prominent guest. So very happy for him to be in. Kevin B, how you doing, mate? Waiting in the wings. You all right?
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you, man.
Good. And obviously, as always, we have Cozy, Mr. Cozy Gaming 007. How you doing, mate?
Hey, how you
So
doing, Zach?
we're on Twitch. Welcome, guys. Finally, we're visual. See my ugly mug on a regular basis. That's a good look. Right, I want to welcome everyone to the show today. We've got an exciting show ahead. I want to also thank all of those that tuned in last week. We had a brilliant community debate, which involved myself and 3 prominent managers within the actual community. So Billy, Monk, and I believe we had 6 on, who is the World Cup manager, Team Canada. Speaking of which, I hear that England are doing quite well in the old qualifiers, Cozy. Is that correct?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Fair, top in the table after 12 games.
Brilliant. We'll have some scores and updates for that later on. And I just want to say, we had a busy week, didn't we? So the PGS were at the Barclays exhibition, e-gaming and eSports exhibition at Southampton FC. That was a big look. So further info on that, on the outcome of that, will be sort of revealed at a later date. So well done to the lads who went over there and exhibited the PGS brand. But also, most importantly, we've had a lot of murmurings within the community, just issues surrounding sort of the playing on the platform, the structure. And we had some people talk about it last week. And, I'm so glad today for us to have Mr. Kevin B in the house, who is director of PGS Europe, and he'll be giving us some updates and maybe dispelling some myths or even agreeing with some of the points the lads made last week. But before I do all that, we've also got the PS5 live raffle, Cozy, haven't we? And that's going to come up in a second segment. And we're going to be doing that. I'm not going to win, so just going to put it out there. It's not fixed. It's going to be random numbers. Cozy's going to sort us out with regards to how he's going to do that. But Cozy, going to look forward to checking you out in the second segment, mate. So I'll see you shortly.
Cool. See you in a bit,
nice
bro.
One. Right, so Kevin, let's get straight into it. I know there's a little bit of trepidation in terms of these conversations, but last week we had a very honest debate, I would say. And some of those debates included things like, quality over quantity. So what I mean by that is that when you're deciding what teams enter the league, what's the criteria that you are given? Do they just have to be a team of 11? Can they get 11 guys out and that's it? They can enter. We talked about stats, the length of time it takes to do stats. There's a lot of things we talked about, and I know that you've listened to the show. I know you've had a couple of days to kind of let it sink in. What I want to put to you now is that, first and foremost, last week's show, did you think it was a fair debate that we had based on what you've seen or heard?
I heard some good things
Yes.
about the things you said earlier about the quantity above quality, or
Yes.
the other way around. And it's tough. It's tough to get good teams that will last longer than one season, because most of the time you give a team a spot, and then at the end of the season they go to another league, or they say we don't have enough players, or other reasons. So it's very tough to get good loyal teams for the long term.
I totally understand. I mean, okay, so let's pick at that one point quickly, because I know we're going to have some questions coming in, and before they start flying in, I want to get in there to not have a disrupted show. In terms of the quality over quantity, one of the things I personally wanted to sort of point out was, or at least find out, is what sort of commitments are you getting from the teams when they join? I understand it's not easy to keep one team in the league for so long, especially if they're not doing well. They're losing all the games and whatnot. I know it's hard to kind of stay involved, but what criteria are you telling them? So what commitment are you getting out of them to be able to stay for the duration of the season, at least?
What I did when I was a head admin, I was speaking to the manager who wants to get a spot on one of our leagues.
Yes.
Just ask them what are your experience within PGS or outside PGS? How many players do you have? How did it start? What is your team about? So I want some background information, so I know for sure I got a good team on my
absolutely
my league or in one of my divisions. And that's what I say to my head admins. If they get approached by someone who wants to bring their team in, just ask them some questions to get some, if you got quality or you got some team that's just leaving after a few games. What you said, like losing a few games and then just drop out
exactly
out of nowhere. Like you have to replace a team within 2-3 weeks.
That's very true. That's very true. Do you know what? I'm glad that you made that point. The fact that because I think the common perception within the community is that literally teams are just getting let in the league. So the fact that you ask these questions, what sort of how many people are you? What are you gonna if you lose a few games? Are you just gonna quit and leave? So I like that. So they're given the opportunity to answer these questions. And if they say yes, then you've got no hold over whether or not they're gonna commit to that.
I denied a few teams after speaking to them because I knew them or someone else told me like you don't want to get them into your league because they are on the blacklist in another league or something like that. So they are toxic or a threat to bring toxic into your league or into your community. So we just try to create a circle like PGS Europe.
Yes.
We try to create a circle, a clean, healthy circle that teams just want to play, Just play games, no defaults. We try to replace teams as quick as possible. So, yeah.
Sorry, do you know what? So, Kevin, basically, we want to make sure that we got everybody tuned in because obviously we've just transitioned onto Twitch from Podbean. So we're getting loads of messages. What's going on? We're not on. So, but listen, I mean, the point you made about, I think for me personally and the rest of the community, I just good news to know that there is a criterion set. Like I said, the common myth was people just people just being allowed to come into the league and that's it. But the fact that these questions are being asked and being posed and being stressed upon is great. So you've got no hold over whether teams are going to stay or not, and I completely accept that. I think what's also good is that if the team does drop out for whatever reason, you're able to replace them fairly quickly. Talk to us a little bit about what the process of that is.
What process? Sorry.
The process of replacing a team that decides to drop out of the league quickly. So obviously you've done all your checks, done all your due diligence, but if they still drop out, I know it doesn't take you that long to replace a team. Talk to us a little bit about what process you go through to get another team involved quickly.
Normally, before we start the season, we got a waiting list for teams. When one of our divisions are full, we place those teams in the waiting list. So if a team drops out, we can just notify one of the teams who wants to start, so they can just pop in.
Absolutely.
For us, that's the way we work at PGS Europe. So we can just simply replace a team. If we got notified last minute, sometimes we are just able to replace a team on time on the same evening. So I don't know how it works for other divisions, leagues in PGS, but that's.
We only want to talk about PGS right now. This is our remit. But I do appreciate those comments. I want to comment to another point. And there's the point about the actual leagues and the length of time they run for. Now, in particular, I remember last week, Billy, our manager at Team Street, he mentioned that some of the leagues, and I can't remember what league it was, it literally went on for a long time. Sorry?
I think it was PGS Wales he mentioned.
Yes, I think it might have been Wales. I mean, now, with that, you've got the fixture pile up. Sometimes you might even have just one game, one weekend. So talk to me a little bit about what the process is in terms of the league length. Are we doing it in terms of the number of teams or just because of the structure?
What we did is we were PGS Holland before we turned into PGS Europe.
Yeah.
And we are big leagues as well. We got 20 or 22, and now we have cut it to 16 teams. So 16 teams for both Premier Leagues, and that's enough,
Indeed.
It's 30 games, I think, and we changed the format from two game days to one. So we went to 2 times 2 matches to 3 matches on the Wednesday.
Right. Okay.
People are very positive about it. It's just one night a week and no commitment for the whole week.
Yeah.
Just one day, and teams are happy about it, and it works. But to answer your question about the length of the leagues, I think 16 teams, 16 to 18 at its max.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see leagues with 22, 24. You have a season of 30 46 matches. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of games.
4 months. You're 4 months on the way before you finish the season.
Absolutely, it's not. Yeah, I mean I think to be honest, I mean, look, sometimes you think, okay, great, it's a nice little league, but I'm assuming you're trying to fit as many teams as possible to make it run, and sometimes it does. I mean, that Wales League did go on for a long time. The eventual winners, I think we all forgot who won it in the end. You know, it's been so long. But no, I appreciate that question being answered. I've just had a message here from Team Street PTK, which is again Billy. Ask KB how fives versus TS went. I mean,
no comment.
No comment at all whatsoever.
We'll see soon.
So Kevin, while you're here, I want to make sure that we get the best of everything. Now, there were a few other questions flying in from last week with regards to, you know, that was the leagues and the entries, but also I think, you know, for me personally, I mean, having sort of managed a league for a while myself, one of the things that I've tried to sort of weed out is toxicity. So, and I know that we have codes and conduct and rules and regs with regards to toxicity, but what is the situation with bans for anyone who's toxic, particularly those who are repeatedly toxic? What is the PGS's stance on these issues?
You mean PGS in general, or just...
PGS? I would say PGS in general, yes. Yeah. You know, across all the leagues and all the platforms.
Very obvious. I mean, it's the racist things, or threatening families or people nearby them. You know, and the relatives. Yeah. So that's those are things. If you do that, it's you can be banned for it.
Yes.
In my experience, we didn't ban any people in the last few seasons.
Okay, which is good news because it means that everyone's.
But I think if you overstep the boundaries for the racist things, and that's a no-go.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that 100%. You would obviously be aware that we've had a show and we've had a few sort of themes on diversity recently, so inclusivity as well. So we had a show recently on, I think, Women's International Day week, where we had Sabrina on. You facilitated that situation, so thank you for that, Kevin. And it was a great show. I think probably one of our most downloaded shows that we've had so far, which tells us a lot. It tells us a story that actually this is something that needs to be a bit more prominent going forwards. Talk to us a little bit about what the PGS are doing on a diversity side of things.
Yeah, I think we have a few women playing FIFA. I'm not aware of the how many females are playing FIFA at the moment, but I see diversity in every team within PGS Europe, and yeah.
Well, we've got, I mean, just to put it out there, Team Sweet has 2 females playing for us. So, well, one of them when she's available, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Shout out to Vanessa, by the way.
In the PGS Europe as well, I think.
There you go. So you know, we're trying to lead the way in that respect. But do you believe that all the teams should take all of these things into account?
At the end, it's their own choice who they want in their team. So I can recommend them to have other people in their team.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't want to say it's a man world, but esports in general, it's mostly played by men, and I don't know. I think there are many teams around there who playing with female players, but
absolutely.
I don't know all of them, so I can tell you how many female players.
No, absolutely. I think the most important thing is just the fact that we are an inclusive. Yeah, we're an inclusive platform, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and like I said, it was our most downloaded show, so I'm really glad that we definitely touched upon that. We've got a few new people joining in. Obviously, the transition to Twitch. I'd like to welcome all our viewers, listeners. Now you can see us and all our shining ugliness in its glory.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't. Listen, I'm still trying to find out. But we've got Kevin B, who's director of PGS Europe, who's here to just set a few records straight. Really, I mean, we had a community debate last week, which included Monk, Billy, and Six, and there were a few issues raised then, and obviously, what we want to do is give everyone the opportunity to respond to those issues. So Kevin's kindly given up his time to answer these questions, and actually so far they seem to be above board. There's a lot of things that within the community that people may think isn't happening. So I'll go on to the next topic here, Kevin. Without further ado, let's talk about stats. Now, I know there was a bone of conjecture at the beginning of the season with regards to stats in terms of how to do it, people not doing it right or purposely not doing it right, whatever the terminology they want to say. But the couple of questions that were raised last week and since prior was, A, how long does it take to get stats out once the game's done, a round of games are done? And B, what is the process? These are two loaded questions, by the way, so I appreciate your time. But what's the process of the stats? How do you record these stats? How do you determine the stats going forward? So the first one is, how long does it take to put out?
Normally, I gave instructions to my head admins to give them to the end of the night of the game day, because we have one game day. So you play the games, you can enter your stats and fill in the score, and then the admins will approve it the next day in the morning or in the evening. I don't know. And then by Saturday they do the team of the week, and we do the design, and we release the design on our Facebook.
Yeah.
So we got our game day on Wednesday. They can give their stats until the evening, or I think it's 12 a.m. the next morning.
So yeah.
So normally we approve it very fast, but like I said, it's PGS Europe how we do it, but I don't know how the other leagues are doing it, or the complaints about our league, or I don't know if we got many complaints to PGS Europe. If so, they can always message me with problems, and I will look into it, see what we can improve, and feedback is always a good thing. So feedback is always welcome.
Absolutely, and like I said, Kevin, this is good. I think for me, I think one of the major issues is that, and I understand why this is. There isn't that one personality that you can message, all the time. The likes of Stevie, Raza, these guys are very busy because they manage a multitude of servers. So, I don't expect, if I message Stevie about something, I don't expect an instant reply, which obviously most people do. So, I guess this is good because with regards to stats, there are a lot of people that have issues with stats. One, how they're done. My only personal issue with stats, Kevin, I don't mind telling you this, and you've already answered the question. My only personal one is just how long it takes to come out. And then once we decide that, and then it's what is the process of actually getting those stats done. So maybe we can do that for another show. But I want our viewers to be rest assured that, because I do know that there is a system in place where the stats are done and it's all automated potentially. But is it a case where it's a general uniformed time when the stats are out? So it's a day to record your stats, and they get approved the next day, and it should be out by the weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how we work, and that's our routine, and that's the workaround that we have at PGS Europe.
Okay, brilliant.
And I don't have. We didn't have many complaints about it. So,
sure.
And if so, they can always message me, and I will just message them.
You sort it, no problem at all. I know that a lot of the managers of the servers, because you guys were good enough to send us some tutorials. So I know Billy, for instance, in Team Street, he posted a tutorial about stats. Because I know that it changed a lot from last year. So anyone has any issues with stats, please feel free to contact Kevin or any admins to get some tutorials, because it's important these stats are recorded. Now, another question for you, Kevin, quickly is how long do you have to record your stats before it's null and void?
Like I said, the end of the night, and we changed it to 12 a.m. the next morning. So to give them some time, if they are not available that night, they can do it the first thing in the morning. So
okay, so we got a few questions there, and like I said to you before, Kevin, you're a very popular guy. So
it's the first time I hear that.
Yeah, you're a very popular guy because so I've got a question from Ben Kearns, aka Benny Boo. How you doing, mate? So he wants to know if managers should be able to do a player's stats
for the whole team.
Yes. I mean, I don't know why you want to do that, but is that possible? I mean, is that you got some efficient managers out there? So is that possible?
It could be an option for the future because, but yeah, I don't know. It's an option, but I don't know. Like you said, why managers want to put in all the stats, all the players.
Yeah, exactly.
Way, I mean, it's a lot of easier this way because every player has to do their own stats, and it's
so I'm laughing at some of the comments. I mean, it's I don't know why you want to do your team stats, but listen, feel free, it's all good. But I'm assuming it'll be an option going forwards in the past. I think the reason why Ben's asking is because if you're saying that all stats need to be approved by the next day, some players are a bit lazy with their stats, so he might just want to get his stats. Or as a manager, he might want to do all the stats ASAP, so there's no issues with stats going forwards. I mean, I'm trying to find a way of defending him, but I'm struggling somehow. Nice. Exactly. All right. I mean, Kevin, was there, out of all the things we discussed, I mean, like I said, you're a very popular guy, you got your name being rang out here, but is there anything that you want to sort of put out there to the community, not just PGS Europe, but the PGS platform, because it's more or less the same, isn't it? At the end of the day, Europe, England, Wales, whatever, it's still the same company, same brand. Is there anything? I mean, you listened to the show last week. You heard all the gripes, potentially, all the positives as well. It wasn't just all negatives. There was a few positives there in terms of a platform that's inclusive and a community that's quite healthy. But was there anything that you wanted to kind of mention to our viewers? Some things that you might have heard that you didn't really, agree with, or anything that can help us going forwards?
It's just in general. I mean, positive thinking. It's a great deal because the community is toxic enough.
Yes.
In FIFA with other game modes, I won't mention any game modes, but it's very toxic these days, and it's very hard to sort out your own team and keep your team and your players outside the whole toxic community. But I think PGS is doing a great job with the leagues and the structure and the future plans.
I would agree.
And I think the community has become way better the last few months, years.
Of course.
I joined PGS, I think, in August 2020. Mm-hmm. Back then, it was only PGS Holland and PGS England, and look where we are now.
Absolutely. 2 years on.
Many games, multiple games, and positive vibes. Keep your team going and stay positive.
Absolutely. Listen, this is, I mean, look, Kevin, Director, PGS Europe. I mean, first and foremost, this is what I know. I sent a bit of my message in the group must have been a bit terse or might have been taken the wrong way. But I think when you have a community talking about issues, it's always good to have people like yourself on board, Stevie, Raza, the big heads, Ben, to come and put some of these points right, because some people truly believe that some of the, for instance, the stats are fudged. I know for a fact there are players that believe stats are fudged. What I mean by fudged is made up, and not really putting just that's just one example of what I'm talking about. So obviously we know. Go on, sorry.
Like people entering the wrong stats, like
exactly.
Yeah,
which has happened quite a bit.
I always instruct my head admins to double check it, because if someone sees it, they always give us feedback like, I don't think that's correct.
Absolutely, yeah.
We take a look and we just correct it, or if it happens multiple times, I did it myself. I messaged the manager and I say, hey, your player is adding numbers for many weeks now. If he does it again, I will just throw him out of the team, or I just so we're keeping a close eye on it. And I always instruct my head admins to be to double check it, but you can never 100% be sure.
Yeah, of course not. But I just it's very difficult. Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, it's very awkward to have these kind of conversations, because obviously we know it happens, but this is what the show's all about. We were trying to talk about some of the most awkward things and dispel them. So yes, the fact that you are on it and you know that it happens, and we can appreciate that we can't stop it from happening. But when it does happen, and it's happening to this with the same people, then we know that there's going to be punishment, and that's kind of what everyone wants to, wants to believe in. Really, we've got the chat's buzzing, Kevin, at the moment. You might have to stay with us a bit longer. I'm hoping you haven't got any programs to watch or.
I have to tell my girlfriend. She's waiting for me downstairs. So, I think I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
Yeah, let's hope not. Put her on. I'll tell her about herself. But so what I want to do quickly is I want to break off quickly, Kevin. I know you have to rush at some point, but we've got some announcements to make. If I can just get Cozy in quickly, please. Cozy, how you doing, mate?
No, I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I think it was good that we had some of these questions answered, Cozy, because as you know, last week we had some bones of conjecture. Really, there was a few issues. But one thing I was confident of was toxicity would be dealt with in its finite mode, because that's one thing that would ruin our platform, in my opinion. So I'm pretty glad that Kevin's made all those points clear. Right, Cozy. I understand this is World Cup fever, so I understand that some of our England have been doing quite well.
Yeah, I have indeed.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that quickly. Kevin, I know you're Dutch, so please accept my apologies. Right, so Chambo and Andy Adam have been doing quite well, haven't they? They've won 8 games. They've won, how many games have they won?
So they've played 12. That is joint second amount of games played. Romania and Germany have also played 12.
Okay.
Only Czech Republic have played more, on 13. But England have won 7 games, drawn 4, lost 1, and their goal difference is 12. So
nice. Well done.
It appears from the stats that they haven't scored lots, but they are making them count. So
brilliant. So just want to say congratulations, lads. Well done. Keep up the good work, and congrats on some of the other teams as well. I know 6 Team Canada have done quite well of late. Billy also is playing for them as well as an alien for them. So that's pretty good. I just want to make a few announcements. We are still on the hunt for gaming experts, Rocket League and Fortnite. So if you are a bit of an expert, please let us know. Contact us, and then we will get back in touch with you. Also, there's a charity event that Stevie and James will be running. James is the CEO of PGS, and he is. So we don't have much information at the moment, but if you want some more info, just please get in touch with us on our mediums. But there's a charity event. I know there's £5 donations. If you beat them, which shouldn't be too hard, they'll double your donation. James is listening. I know he's going to message me soon. So I'm definitely taking that up. I'm going to play both of them at the same time and get myself some decent money for charity. Also, I want to mention again, we actually there's a new update for the PGS as a co-host. So if you're female and you believe that you can do a better job than me, please get in touch with us and let's have a chat, because we are looking for a PGS co-host. I know I'm going to get a lot of guys messaging me now asking to be my co-host, which is a bit odd, but yeah. Guys, as in men. Also, the one last update that I have is we are looking to bring back. Now, this is something that Cozy brought in, and I have to say, did a great job with the foot leagues, foot tourneys. I was only in the server because he started up and invited me, and we then proceeded. We then had quite a few members, so it's been a little bit dormant of late. Excuse me, but we are going to revive that, and that should be kicking back up next week. So please be in touch with that. It's going to be fresh tourneys, league competitions, cash prizes, and when I say cash prizes, I was a part of the team that negotiate these prizes, so they're going to be very, very good cash prizes, and much more. So please stay tuned for that. Now, I want to go into the next segment quickly, and I'd like to there's a few other questions that I wanted to pose to Kevin. Now, actually, I want to bring Cozy in as well. Cozy, do you have any questions per se for Kevin? Because remember, we don't really get the director of PGS Europe in often, so let's make use of it today. I mean, in terms of the community. Sorry, say that again.
I'm back next week, no problem.
You're back next week. Quality. Right. So, have you got any questions you want to sort of pose to Kevin?
Yeah,
because you're in the community quite a lot, Cozy. So it'd be good to put something out there for him.
Yeah, I've been around Been around the block a few times, as they
Indeed,
say.
mate. Indeed. We won't put years on it, but it's all good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's keep calm. Yeah, Kevin. You talk about your experience. You've clearly got a lot of it. You started down here and worked your way right up. What is it that makes you want to make a difference in the community?
Yeah, I believe in the project of PGS from the day I started here, and I've been active as a manager for I think 3 or 4 years. I started like 8 years ago, and yeah, you love the game, and you see the community, and you see what I told like a few minutes ago. The community is so toxic these days, and you want to make it better. Create a good league, a good community, so everyone can just do what they love to do, and that's just playing FIFA. So it's simple as that, and yeah, I'm doing my best to do my part, and I love to do it, and I think what we build with each other, and besides PGS Europe, it's going into the some nice new projects are on its way. What I heard, and I think some good things are coming soon. And I hope we can. I hope we can keep improving, keep helping each other, and taking each other to a high level. And let's do it.
That's fantastic, mate. No, I rate that a lot. You're doing some fantastic work, so keep it up. And I know a lot of people really respect what you do, so GG to you, mate.
Thanks.
Yes, Kevin. Listen, I mean, first and foremost, I've got to say, Kevin, I'm a little bit disappointed, mate, because I've got the PGS hoodie, and you've got a Feeler hoodie on. What's happening? Are they paying you?
I asked for some merchandise, but they won't give me something. So,
so how have I got that before you? Come on, what's happening? What's going on? But anyway, we'll speak to the boss, boss man James, and we'll see what we can do. But listen, Kevin, I wanna thank you profusely, because I think you've helped us a lot. I know that we're gonna need more admins to come on, more directors come on and talk to us about the structure, because there is a lot of conjecture in the community. So the structure, how you do things going forwards, and it will only help being able to have access to people like yourself. So
if you want to, I can ask my head admins to join your show.
Please, that'll be great. Every week, not just next week. It'll be every week.
But I will come back too.
Excellent. Kevin, listen, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Keep up the great work. Cheers, mate. That was brilliant, man. I mean, I know he was a bit nervous to come on. Obviously, just coming on in general, but I think just having him on answer some of these questions that we keep getting asked every week is very helpful. So, without further ado, guys, we mentioned at the top of the agenda that we have a PS5 raffle. Now, all of those who've been tuning in from when I started doing this show on the Podbean, will know I've been basically advertising the PS5 raffle, and it's finally here. The day's here for me to win. So, right. So, just to talk about fairness, we're gonna get Cozy to do a test random run. So what he'll do is he'll put a few digits into this random numbers. There you go. It's been shown on your visuals, and just to prove to you that we're not cheating. There's no dodginess going on. There's no padding going on, Benny. It's strictly legit. So I'm gonna, whenever you're ready, Cozy, I'm gonna cue you. So Cozy's gonna cue this. He's gonna do a couple random number runs in the background, and then we are going to reveal the PS5 raffle winner. Cool. It's going to be massissive. I'm looking forward to this.
Exciting times, man.
Mate,
this has been building up.
It's been a month. But before we do that, happy birthday to the PGS. 1 year anniversary. Actually, it was yesterday, wasn't it? It was the day before yesterday. So well done. I want to thank the team for doing this raffle for us, giving out the PS5 for free. But also, there's a lot of work that they've been doing in the background that not a lot of you are aware of. Sorry, I was trying to get into something serious, and I just seen another message in the chat about a Team Street hoodie. We'll talk about that one later. But I'm trying to stay serious here, guys. But listen, we've been doing a lot. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that you guys don't know about, and I want to just do a shout out to Stevie Alex, shout out to James, Kamez. These guys are doing some big things in the background. Kevin, all his team. I mean, it's too many of them to mention. Raza, Cozy as well, all the work that he's doing in the background. So we are doing this because we know that the brand is going to grow, and we know that we've got some very good things coming to you. So without further ado, Cozy, run some randoms. Let's make sure that these lot don't think that we're cheating. or I've got the PS5 under my bed somewhere. So let's go.
Well,
Let's do this.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. So these numbers are not involved in the giveaway. They're not in the raffle. So this will generate a number between 15,000 and 30,000. Here is the first of 3 tests. So you can see I've clicked the generator. It's coming up with a second random one. And there we go, a third random number. So you can see that I have no influence on this. This is straight from Google. It's their number generator. And when I click the generate button, it generates a number. So without further ado, number 1, of course. And there was 12,747 entries.
Brilliant.
Now,
well done.
That is absolutely incredible.
Incredible.
So a massive thank you to everyone that has entered. And yeah, I think let's get some a little drum roll going.
Let's get a drum roll going.
And here we go then. The winner of the PGS PS5 birthday giveaway
Isaac.
number 3,769. So we're going to go over here. So that is 3769. And that is Alexino29 from Italy.
Italiano. Well done, Alexino.
So there we go.
Congratulations. Go on, Cozy.
Yeah, so we will be in contact with you. Congratulations on winning. And look, thank you very much for entering. But to absolutely everyone that has entered, thank you very much. And thank you for continuing to support our fantastic community.
Brilliant. I mean, that's I'm very happy for Alexino. I mean, I don't know the chap, but he's in Italy as well. I mean, that's just, come on. But well done, mate. I was really hoping it was going to be me. Where's my name in this random numberizer? What's going on?
You want to see what it is, please?
Yeah, like 3,000. Are you sure this was done right, mate? Doing it again?
There you are.
Oh, mate, I'm like 1,000.
You're 9,000 as well.
Oh,
yeah. There we go.
Well. But listen, I mean, look, it's a PS5. Alexino's happy tonight. Do you know what I mean? His girlfriend's definitely sleeping on the couch.
bro.
But listen, when you are contacted, Alexino, make sure you take a picture of the PS5, send it in to us, and we'll get you posted on all the PGS platforms, because this is a good look. And so congratulations. I would say well done to the team for allowing this to happen. We still have the merch giveaway. It's £120 worth of merch for the feedback review. So get involved in that. That's more ways in which you can earn some free merch. What I want to do is I would like to close off the show, because it wasn't really going to be a long show today. We've got new league starting as well. So there are a lot of people who are, well, I'm playing as well. I mean, for my sins. So I've got to be prepped for the team. But in essence, what I want to say is this. I think, Cozy, we've had a very telling couple of weeks. We are transitioning back onto Twitch where people can see us now. We've got more listeners, more viewers. We've got loads of things coming up. So I want, the inclusivity factor in terms of Kevin coming on to talk about what they're doing. I know that the PGS are doing a lot of work in the backgrounds that we won't even know about for a while. But, if we can keep the toxicity down to a bare minimum and actually, dare I ask, completely, eradicate it within our platform, we'll probably be one of the best platforms out there, because there isn't any platform where there isn't any kind of toxicity, to be honest. But what we're saying is it's going to be there. But I mean, I'm not saying let's keep it to a minimum, because we want to try and eradicate it. But if you're going to enter the league, please, observe the code and conduct, observe the rules, and try not to make a complete nuisance of yourself, because you just alienate yourself, really. So yeah, that's Reverend Isaac preaching to the masses. But so, Cozy, what we got coming up this week anyway? Anything exciting from your side?
Well, just working on new stuff for the podcast, really, mate.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you mentioned about the foot leagues and tournaments starting back up. So
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure I'll have a phone call about that later on in the week.
Yeah, you definitely will. Listen, that foot league, guys, foot league is going to be amazing, because I think one of the issues we had with it, and this was nothing to do with you, Cozy, because obviously you're just there to give us tourneys, but it's about the prizes. We want prizes. You know, we want big prizes. We had Joker, who was a two-time winner. I'm pretty sure that he'd wish to be able to enter now because the prizes are going to be better than it was, you know, when he was involved. So we've got well over 400 people in the server. You know, we're going to have a familiar face running it. So please get involved, and it'll be on days that doesn't clash with your leagues. So there's no excuse. Get involved.
Can't argue,
you know?
can you?
Just to give you a snippet quickly, there's going to be leagues ran as well. And one of the things we're looking at doing with the leagues is to have a situation where you can enter and only have one icon, have a Silver Stars League, or Icons League. So listen, I can't wait for it to happen. But, you know, also we've got a second podcast coming up as well, Cozy, where we focus mainly on the players. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it'll be just the players. So whereas the general show focuses on general community, you know, the do's and the don'ts, this will be about the players. So it will mean that the foot leagues, the players will feature heavily in this podcast, as well as the pro clubs players within the league. So look out for that, please. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, really. I've got games. You got games on tonight, Cozy?
No, I haven't. I'm just watching Peaky Blinders tonight, mate.
Peaky Blinders, oh mate.
Yeah, mate.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Well, listen, without further ado, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in today. We had loads of viewers, loads of chats, loads of questions. We love it, don't we, Cozy? We do love it, don't we? And it's free, so we're not asking you to pay for it. So download the episodes after, and we look forward to speaking to you again or seeing you again next week. Thanks again for tuning in. Good luck with your games tonight. Well done, guys. Good night.
See you later, guys. Thank you very much.